morning, students. Today we will learn about History, Unit 8, the beginning of the modern age. Introduction. In the 14th and 15th century, Eastern Europe underwent dramatic changes in the political, social, cultural, religious, and economic spheres. The Italian humanist Petrarch's Ganzonier, German theologian Martin Luther's 95 Theses, and Portugal Prince Henry's navigation school heralded the dawn of the modern era. Let us see the lesson. First topic, causative factors. Causative factors number 1, growth of trade and rise of towns. Second, invention of the printing press. Number 3, fall of Constantinople. Growth of trade and rise of towns. With the decline of feudalism, Europe was gradually moving towards urbanization. This process started first in Italy because of its prosperous Mediterranean trade. The Arabs brought spices from the east and then transported them by land to the ports of the Mediterranean region. Italian city-states such as Venice and Geneva profited immensely from this trade. Following the expansion of trade, a strong network of banking and financial institutions too developed in Italy. Next, invention of the printing press. The invention of the printing press accelerated the process of modernization. Earlier, manuscripts were written by hand on animal skin called vellum. Only the privileged few could access them. Johannes Gutenberg, 1394 to 1468 AD, invented the printing press in Germany in the middle of the 15th century. The invention of Gutenberg printing press, about 6 million books had been printed. The invention of printing press not only spread knowledge widely but also promoted critical thinking. Next topic, fall of Constantinople. In 1453 AD, Constantinople, the capital of Byzantine Empire, was captured by the Ottoman Turks. This acted as a catalyst for the birth of Renaissance. It also led to the discovery of new land routes. Next topic, Renaissance. With the coming of the scholars and artists from Constantinople, there was a surge of enthusiasm and interest in studying classical literature and art of Greeks and Roman in the Italian city-states. Greek scholar Manuel Chrysolorus, who taught Greek classics in Italy, Guarino and Giovanni Arispa, to name just a few, visited Constantinople several times to collect Greek manuscripts. Next topic, why Italy became the birthplace of Renaissance. Italian city-states such as Florence, Milan, Venice, and Rome profited immensely from the Mediterranean trade. The rich families of these city-states, such as Medicis of Florence, patronized literature, art, and music. The high point of this period was between 1475 AD and 1525 AD. Italian universities taught humanities, linguistics, grammar, rhetoric, history, science, and ethics. Classical Greek and Latin literature introduced the idea of humanism, which got reflected in the paintings, sculptures, architecture, music, and writings of that period. Next topic, humanism in literature. The idea of humanism was first expressed in literature. The humanists were critical of medieval ideas and institutions and criticized them satirically in their writings. Petrarch, 1304 to 1374 AD, was the first to adopt ideas of classical humanism in his works and is therefore called the father of humanism. Dante, influenced by the classics, wrote Divine Comedy. Machiavelli wrote the political treatise called The Prince. In this book, he wrote about the virtues that a ruler should possess. He declared that a ruler should be lion and fox in one. For him, the end was more important than means. Erasmus, known as the prince among humanists, wrote in praise of folly, a satirical work of the activities and rituals of the church. Next topic, impact on art. Renaissance paintings and sculptures were realistic and naturalistic. They improved over medieval paintings and sculptures, which were stylized, unrealistic, and two dimensional. They portrayed natural landscapes, human anatomy, emotions, and ideas. In the field of art, great artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael dominated the scene and produced some of the finest artistic works. Leonardo da Vinci, 1452 to 1519 AD, was a versatile genius. He was a painter, sculptor, architect, military engineer, anatomist, and poet. His paintings of Mona Lisa, The Last Supper, and The Virgin of the Rocks are illustrious examples of his talent. Next, Michelangelo, 1475 to 1564 AD, was a painter, sculptor, architect, and poet. His marble sculpture of David depicts the youthful strength and energy of the giant slayer. He is also famous for his paintings in the ceilings of the Sistine Chapel in Rome. Next, Raphael, 1483 to 1520 AD, painted beautiful Madonna's Virgin and the Child. His painting of the School of Athens reveals the ideological debate of his times, namely the conflict between spiritualism and humanism. Next topic, science during Renaissance. The advances in science were inspired by Ptolemy, Archimedes, Euclid, and others of the classical period. In the medieval period, the Aristotelian view that Earth was the center of the universe strengthened the Church's view of creation and its own centrality to mankind. William Henry discovered the circulation of blood. Copernicus proved that Earth revolved around the Sun through the mathematical model. Galileo provided further astronomical proof with the aid of the telescope he invented. Nevertheless, scientific discoveries and inventions continued space, leading to the scientific revolution. Next topic, effects of Renaissance. The impact of Renaissance was profound and far-reaching. Its most important contribution was the idea of humanism. It marked a definite shift towards individualism, secularism, and nationalism. The introduction and practice of writing in the vernacular starting from Dante enriched the growth of vernacular languages, which in turn provided the intellectual basis for the rise of nation states. The curiosity kindled by the Renaissance played a decisive role in the discovery of new land routes and remapping of the world. Thank you, students. Next class we will learn about Reformation and geographical discoveries.